Support the channel by becoming a channel member or joining the Patreon through patreon.com/MannLightfoot.
By all means, I'll watch Chateau de Greens and chill here with your pets.
I think of them more as our friendly livestock than our pets.
You try rhyming livestock. See, this is why we got divorced.
Just gonna expose this man in his own movie. Disney finally dropped their long-anticipated Dcom Big City Greens the movie Spacecation, a TV movie based off their popular animated show and potentially only animated show right now.
You suck!
It did have a bit to live up to when it comes to representing the series while turning things up for returning fans, and let me tell you, it doesn't disappoint. I did wonder for the longest what a Big City Greens movie could look like. I mean, the show tends to be fairly grounded a lot of the time.
I'll eat until I cry.
Hey Remy, wanna come over later?
Why did I choose to disprove myself? Anyway, the show can get into pure fantasy in about every episode. Ain't no damn friendly cops. So the movie makes sense for it to go more fantastical, and it definitely goes beyond the stars for it.
Why you pulling me? I'm right!
The story revolves around the Greens going on vacation but end up being sent to space, all due to Cricket making a deal with a crazed tech mogul. Good guess, but no. It's the returning villain named Gwendolyn Zapp. Cricket tells the family they're just going on a space simulator, which is actually a space shuttle. Things are fine and fun for a bit until killer robots compromise the Greens' space trip. And now it becomes a fight for the Greens to get home safely. Now, this is definitely the worst thing Cricket has done in the whole series, not counting the deaths from the watermelon.
That was
But anyway, Cricket gets a good spotlight on his antics and how it affects his family. Throughout the show, you just see this horrible kid cause a lot of harm and sort of learn a lesson by the end of an episode, but pretty much goes back to causing problems the next. So you get great catharsis to finally see him get checked for his poor behavior. Cricket certainly is a regular little boy, but he's a perfect case on why children do need to get their egos checked. This movie explores the massive tensions between Cricket and Bill. They've been at odds in the series, but the movie is where things come to a head. It's very effective in making you feel the exhaustion Bill has to deal with Cricket's bullshit. You see these two bicker and argue with each other constantly throughout the series, and this is the one where it comes to a head for them finally, and you actually have to see them deal with this real problem that they've been having for the longest. It honestly is very satisfying of a scene to see if you are a Big City Greens fan. Seriously, Cricket causes all the problems in most of this show. Just always keep that in mind with him. But I should also say that this movie doesn't just beat down a little boy. A lot of the problems falls on the tech CEO being crazy. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if he was inspired by her. Gwendolyn Zapp is a good over-the-top villain in this movie. She's been great in the show, but here they just said, let's really show you how despicable she can be. She clearly is meant to be a joke at all the real-life greedy tech CEO's expenses. She's so over-the-top and plain crazy, you can't help but enjoy her character. She's just a ball of fun, especially when you find out her motivations for everything. I will tell you, for Marvel fans, her backstory is very much in line with Riri Williams. That's all I will say. You gotta appreciate a villain that doesn't give a fuck about others and they just stick to that. The rest of the family also get moments here as well. Tilly and Grandma Alice work as pawns to Cricket's harebrained scheme, but they get their own funny gags and side plots that are also pretty fun. Like Alice getting a souped up prosthetic leg with laser cannons.
Yippee-ki-yay, Moa Trixie!
Damn!
They Smooth decided to make this woman unstoppable now. Gloria and Nancy get a chance to bond in this since we never really got that in the show. They're a fun pair, with one being pretty confident and the other being... Gloria? They actually are a fun duo, even if there's not a lot of banter between them that's pretty funny, but overall it's nice to see these two working together. There's also this new character named Colleen who's Gwendolyn's go-to. She's a fun stickler type. Her more serious demeanor gets offset by the Greens' more lackadaisical style, giving us some funny interactions. Now, there might be some contention people might have with the fact that the family is going into space and the series usually is a more grounded series, but if you watch the show and pay attention to it, this makes a lot of sense, I should say. And honestly, the space setting does really work in favor of this series. With these characters, they play into it very well. You genuinely do want to see how they would handle space, and they handle it as best as you would think some hillbillies would be able to handle this. It does call for a lot of peril that actually does get you to worry for the family as they're on their mission trying to get back home. It definitely may feel a little out there of a premise, but if you do watch Big City Greens, it's a very out there family you're dealing with, let's be real. God, do I want to gush about the animation in this movie. It is spectacular, and I am not kidding when I say it is the best looking animated Dcom. Probably bold to say, but this movie is animated beyond what you'd expect for a TV movie. Definitely is a step up from the show, which could look amazing a lot of the time. So with this movie, they wanted to prove something with this. There's a lot more motion being used here. It's actually really loose when it comes to the characters' models. You definitely have a lot of moments where the characters are off model, but it's more intentional to allow for unique expressions on the characters. It's pretty fun to see what unique drawing you'll get with the over-exaggerated expressions now. Now, of course, I already expect a bunch of people in the comments to be mad at the fact that it's more off model and trying to be loose with their expressions, and all I have to say is,
dude, what the f? Why are you f***ing here, man? You're so old. Where's your wife? Go home to your family, dude.
honestly, y'all kinda got spoiled by rigged animations keeping things a little too neat. Even your favorite shows of the past were a little off model a lot of the time, which called for cool and funny expressions. So it's fun to see it here and actually be able to get very loose and even heartfelt and heartbreaking expressions. I mean it. They can get across great emotions in this that feel so reminiscent of old Disney films. You can feel every single piece of these characters' hearts breaking just by their faces. It is phenomenal animation that I'm shocked to see in a Dcom of all things. The animation is so good, I really would love to see this in a theaters. I would go see that if it was a special event, I'm not kidding. It pushes the boundaries of what they can pull off with their musical numbers even. They pull out all the stops to make the music work with the animation. Green Family Vacation, Stuff I Said, as well as Rules rapped by Colleen are a big standout and have the most visually striking imagery of all the musical sequences. Not to mention, these songs are pretty freaking catchy. I cannot fake. These are really good hummables. They are very much going to get in your head.
Get out of me! Nobody's messing with your head! Get out of me! No, nobody's messing with your head, man! Nobody's messing with your head!
Overall, this movie is absolute pure fun and a great elevation of the series. You get all the characters at their best and even their worst. It doesn't shy away from telling harsh truths and letting the audience sit with the aftermath. It perfectly showcases that wacky hillbilly charm we all love from the series. The jokes are genuinely funny. The way these characters play off of each other, it's just hilarious, as well as just the sight gags they like to throw in because this show just loves animation and you really feel it throughout every scene you see. It took things back to TV movies feeling like event/victory laps for your favorite shows. There's no negative thing I can think of about this other than it sucks I can't watch it for the first time again. If you're a fan of Big City Greens, this is a getaway you'll definitely want to redo.